Judging by the title, you can see it's about mistakes. I haven't called it your mistakes, called it the mistakes. This is because I think if you only talk about your mistakes, you don't actually learn as much as you can if you talk about the mistakes. And by the mistakes, I mean everyone else's mistakes around you, in books you read and entertainment you watch. So I think it's really important to understand that core concept of that mistakes shouldn't just be your own, they should be everyone's, and you can always learn from a mistake. It's important to understand that mistakes are natural. I think people get really scared of making a mistake because we're brought up with, in school, in education, where you make a mistake, you get penalized, right? You lose a mark. But I think the whole using a mistake to improve isn't really taught well in school. And by this I mean it's taught in school how to improve it within education, right? You get answer A, which is wrong. You get given an answer B, which is right, and you can look at how you could have improved your answer from that answer. But in terms of the whole real world application from school, there's no real like synergy between the two. There's no real connection between getting taught how to improve in a test or compared to how to live an everyday life without education. And I think there's a big discrepancy between those two, and that needs to be somehow joined a lot smoother because after school there's a big like drop of realization that what we've been taught in school isn't really applicable, and the mistakes we've been, like I was saying, that we've been taught from these mistakes in school that making a mistake is bad because we get penalized, and we haven't been taught how to overcome mistakes in the real world, which aren't really as severe usually. And I think I learned it myself when I left school, and it's just when you're forced into the real world, you're forced to do your own thing, venture off, and you'll make hundreds of mistakes, hundreds and thousands, just like everyone else. But if you really want to improve on yourself and also improve whatever you're making mistakes in, whether that be education again, or a job, even health, like sports or something, making mistakes in team games, is really important to make sure you're aware that making these mistakes only leads you to be better. Because if you really truly understand why you've made a mistake and how you can improve later on, you'll be incredible at whatever that specific mistake is in. For example, let's say I'm playing a football game and I've run toward, I'm playing striker role, run towards the goal. I go for a shot, whereas my teammate is actually in the box with me. He's free. I should have passed to him potentially instead of going on goal, taking it all on by myself. And some people in that scenario, if they got told, "Oh, you should have passed to me," they take that to heart. They wouldn't even take it as a mistake. They'd say, "This person's trying to talk me down, say I'm not good at football, telling me I made a mistake." And some people take it to heart, and I think that's quite common, unfortunately, because it's such a good learning. It's such a good place to start learning because, like I said, these mistakes are happening for a reason. Like if something was meant to work out, it would have worked out, right? So if I didn't score that goal when I shot at the goal, something went wrong, right? Because it didn't go in the goal. The target was to get a goal. The target was not met. How could I have improved to hit that target? Instead of me, let's say my teammates say, "Oh, you should have passed me." Instead of me going, "Oh, why are you saying I'm bad at football?" You say, "Oh, you actually have an open mind and be like, yeah, I can see I should have actually had an option here or even another option over there." There's in that scenario, there's probably so many different options that you could have done. However, obviously that was just one example. There's millions of examples out there of any sort of mistake that you can make. That was just a simple sports one. I think a lot of people would understand. But I think the key values that I'm trying to make in this video, right, are you personally make a mistake. Don't take it to heart. Use it as a learning opportunity. If you come at a mistake with an open mind and ask how or why could I have done better, you'll tenfold your ability in whatever that may be. The second point I wanted to make on this is the whole title of the video, like I said at the start, embracing the mistakes, right? There's so much opportunity learning, even through books, right? It could be someone's biography, it could be even just non-fiction books. It doesn't have to be real world examples. The opportunity to learn from other people, even characters and stories making mistakes in certain scenarios, is so valuable and so overlooked because people are so caught up in their own life They don't actually open up their mind to looking at other people's mistakes and using those mistakes as a learning point, not only for the person that's made the mistake, but for me, for the person reading the book, or for me watching the TV show, for me watching the YouTube video, um, for me even watching a sport as well, like in a stadium. Yeah, there's so many different examples, and I think people really do overlook the chances they get in improving themselves, because it happens every day. Every day's a new day. Every day's a chance to improve some sort of aspect to your life. By improving, I don't mean, oh, you have to do, 1% a day better. I literally just mean, as long as you improve that 0.00001% in anything, you will feel mentally better. That's how you avoid getting down. It's how you avoid getting depressed. It's if you feel like you've achieved something through progress in whatever it is, whatever aspect of life, you're going to feel a lot better mentally. Some days are obviously you're going to improve, a lot more than others. Some days you'll wake up and you'll be like, wow, I've realized I should have done this. Cool. Make the most of that. Whereas some days you'll wake up, you're not feeling it. You have woke up, a bad day. It happens. Everyone has a bad day. But as long as you understand that those bad days don't last, you have to have the bad days, the days where you make the mistakes. People could class that as a bad day. As long as you use them bad days as learning curves, you're good. You'll succeed in whatever you want to succeed, and you'll be happy. That's the main thing. So your success will equal your happiness,